Hi, welcome to What's Cooking at the Martin. Today I'm having some friends over and we're going to do chili rellenos, which I'm going to show you how you char them, how you peel them, and how you stuff them. And we're going to do a side dish that has some rice and some beans and some corn in it. It's going to be very Mexican and really quite delicious, I think. Things are running apace at the theater. We're actually waiting for them to start letting bids for the interior. We're really excited about that. So anyway, we're just passing the time until such time as we can be back in business. So anyway, when we're starting with the Pablanos, I'm going to show you how to char them. I do them on the grill because I have all electric in my kitchen. But if you have a gas stove, you can do it on top of the burner there. So I've got my Pablanos. We're going to put them directly onto the fire. We're doing this outside because I don't have a gas stove. So we've got them on there, and we're just going to fry them up. You can hear them popping, and they smell really good. You can check them on occasion, and you can see how they're blistered. They're getting blistered on the bottom. You want them to be almost black there because we want to take the whole exterior of the skin off of it. That's looking good. Give them a turn here. Ah, that's great right there. That looks beautiful. That's looking good. The one thing you want to do is you want to not cook it too much, because then when you take the skin off, you'll actually take the meat of the poblano off, and they get real, it's real tender and real hard to stuff, because we're going to stuff these babies. Now see, that would be kind of what I'd like. Now I'm going to take this, and you can do it in a glass bowl with a plastic lid. You can do it with, I'm putting it into a plastic bag and sealing it up so that it can steam itself a little bit. That's good, 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 good. And I know it seems excessive, but the more the skin that you can actually char like this, the easier it really is to peel them, because peeling them takes a while. And if you can get the ones that don't have a lot of dimples in it, you might like that too, because the dimples make it harder to. So that is my first stack. So I'm going to continue doing this until all 8 of my peppers are really nicely charred, and then we'll go through the peeling process. It takes a little time, but it is well worth it. It's delicious. Now we go to the next step of the process. We have charred them over the flame. We've gotten them nice and black, as you can see, and we've steamed them. We've put them hot into a plastic bag and zip-locked it so that all of the steam stayed inside and helped to raise this black surface up so it'll be easier to come off of. You will notice that my hands are blue, and in this day and time, that's pretty normal. Everybody's got these gloves. Don't try to do this without them, because if you do, you'll end up, you'll end up an hour later rubbing your eye and really, really, really regretting it. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of one of them and show you exactly what the process. I always run a little bit of water because the capsaicin in it, the actual pepper, like they use in tear gas and mace, it will be released as you do this. So I try to do it under running water so that is actually minimalized. And then when we get in and we take the seeds out, you're going to also see why you're going to want maybe some running water to do this. But anyway, so meanwhile, we're just going to get at it. Which is, let's see, we just take it and peel it off. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it's helpful to have one of your little corn brushes and see, because then it just brushes off like that. But you want to keep it at, because you're looking for that nice tender green. I don't know if you can even see that with this light on, but there's a really nice tender green underneath where it's been charred, and that's kind of what you want, because then when we bake them, we'll stuff them and bake them, they'll be nice and tender, and it won't give you indigestion. the way it might possibly have if you didn't do it. So anyway, it does make a mess, just warning you. So I'm just going to go around it, and I'm going to just pick off all these little pieces that I can. You want to get all the charred stuff off because it doesn't taste very good. And you'll find yourself getting into areas that didn't actually char really well. So you just, at that point, you can take a little knife and try to lift the skin yourself, because at this point usually it's pretty tender. So that one's pretty much done. So now we're going to take it, we're going to put it aside, and we're going to start on the next one. And I'm going to continue this whole thing until I've got all of them done, and then I'll be back. So now you can see my pretty poblanos. So next thing that we're going to do, because they are they're pretty hot, is that we're going to de-seed them, because we don't want to cook them with that. And the way I generally do that is I usually pick a natural seam, like right along here, because this one's, you get them with 3 ridges and 2 ridges. So just pick one ridge. Sometimes they've already split, so it makes it a real easy thaw. And all we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're just going to cut down like so. So that will then open up and expose all of the seeds. Can you, wait, I'm trying to do this so you can see it. Do you see the seeds inside? There's seeds, and they're these long rib things that we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove. And it's going to be kind of loud because I'm going to do it under running water, because this is where you start breathing in the, you can start breathing in the capsaicin, and it gets really difficult to breathe. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to take these out, and I will be back and show you what they look like after I've finished removing stuff. Kind of, sort of. So you just go in and use your fingers, but you have to make sure you get under the crown really well. See, this has got, see this thing right here? You can't see it, I can see it, but there's this long rib right here. We're going to go ahead and remove that. And this is cool water, by the way, not hot water. And then we're going to go look inside, and we're going to catch all the little boogers that are left and make sure they get out of there, so that when we stuff them tomorrow, they'll just be lovely. And there we go. Yeah, I see you hiding back there. Come out, come out, come out, wherever you are. Okay, so that's one. You do the same thing. See, this one actually only is flat, so it only has 2 sides. It's already starting to split right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and come up this split right here. And then I will come in here and open it up. And just get all those seeds out. Which, by the way, that's the part that makes it hot. Once you cook the pepper, it just has a really lovely taste, but it's not really hot. So if you want it to be hot, you can leave some peppers in. I've inadvertently done that before. You can tell, because those are the people that look at you and go, oh, at the dinner table, and ask for more water. And there I have it. I have all my poblanos. They're all already, they're skinned, they're opened up, they're de-seeded, and they're ready to stuff, which I'm going to get around to tomorrow. So I was trying to get all the hard work done today. So so we'll be back and continue on this journey and make some of the best. Well, I keep saying that because I do love to eat. But the chili rellenos, it's one of my best recipes. So when I looked in my refrigerator and saw what kind of salsa I had, I realized that I didn't have any mild salsa. So I'm going to go ahead and make some up for this meal today, because the people that are coming over don't have a real appreciation for real spicy food. So so anyway, I'm going to get started. So we're actually going to start by cooking some onions. I've got about a half of a sweet onion here that I've chopped up, and I'm putting a couple of tablespoons of oil in here. We're going to take it to the stove, and we're going to saute these, and we're going to sweat them. We're going to saute them until they're tender and translucent. And then we're going to add some tomatoes. So here we have all of the onions, and they're all really very nicely translucent and cooked. And to that, what we're going to do is we're going to add a small can of tomato sauce. And thank you for all of you. This is a wooden spoon. Pointing that out to me. And one mild Rotel. I don't actually drain them. I just put them in with the sauce and put that together. And then to that, we're going to add a half of a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of garlic, and a teaspoon of sugar. And we're going to mix it all together. And then we're going to put it back on the stove. And we'll adjust the temperature. We'll adjust what the taste as we go. Because I've got some chipotle pepper. I've got all sorts of things that if we need to make it a little less bland, we can do that. But that's basically salsa, boys and girls. So to prepare the cheese for this today, I am using queso blanco, which is a Mexican crumbling cheese. You don't even have to grate it. It just kind of crumbles off. You can see how it does it. The amount of cheese you use really depends on how many poblanos you're doing. I normally do 8, and when I do 8, I normally use one of these packages, which is about 2.5 pounds. And I got big peppers, so, you know, got some spinach I might add, but right now I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to crumble this up, and then I'm going to add a package of quesadilla. And this is a really melty cheese, so the melty cheese will go with the fresh cheese and make this even more yummy than it is. Yum. Okay, so now we're to the point where we're going to put our gloves back on again, and we've got our poblanos that have been already seeded and everything. So we're going to go back and we're going to find out. We're going to open her up like so. We're going to check it one last time for seeds. I think what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to cut these little things right here. And then I take this beautiful poblano, and I'm going to take this cheese and I'm going to put it in. It's easiest if you can hold it in one hand and use the other hand to add the cheese. And some people, and you need to make sure you stuff it in the back too, so it's really stuffed good. I know some people just use blocks of cheese. I've never done that. So then I take it down, and I have this beautiful round dish that I'm going to put them in. So hopefully they're going to fit all the way around. So we're going to go to our next one. This one is kind of falling apart. So what we're going to do is we're going to. The nice thing about it is they stick back together. We're going to create our own little pod here. Pull that over. Stuff that cheese in there. And then we're going to put it right here, seam side down. I think you get the drift. I'm just going to keep going until I have a whole pan. And there we have the last one going in. Doesn't that look pretty? I'm going to reasonably space. So, and there you have them. They're all done like that. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to take whatever cheese is left and we're going to put the cheese on it, on the top of it. Now for the egg wash. Now, a lot of you might have this. My kids made shaker pudding back in the 80s, but I keep it around because it's nice to use with my immersion blender. What we're going to do is we're going to take, see my Martin Peter cup? There you go. I'm going to take 6 eggs. I'm going to open them up here. We can thank Diney for the fresh eggs. So here we have our 6 eggs. I usually take the liquor out of the bag that I stored the poblanos in, because it adds that really nice poblano kind of zing to it. To that we're going to add, yep, it's still good, half and half, about 2/3 of a cup or so, yeah, something like that. And then one of the things that I always do is I add a little bit of chipotle. I have this lovely bag of chipotle peppers, chipotle that from Penzies that my friend Barbara Plum bought me for Christmas one year. And you don't use a whole lot of it because it's really, 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 really hot. So you see, I've got just a tiny bit of it. Not even a whole half thing that I'm going to put in. And then I'm going to put all that in. So just a sprinkling of that. And then we're going to take our immersion blender and we're going to blend it up really good. I'm not going to make you listen to this. So now that you've got the thing and we've mixed it all up, we're going to take it and we're going to pour it all over the poblanos. And then we're going to put it in the oven at 350 and just wait for it to bake up. For the side today, what we're going to do is I've got some yellow rice that is already actually seasoned. I've got some white corn. In order to make this recipe mine, what I did is I started with the black bean fiesta from Bush, and I actually drained off all of the liquid from it, and I added chicken broth to it, and that's in here. And we're going to go ahead and make the rice, and then we're going to add, this is like 1 can of the black beans, and this is like 1 can of corn. Only I like sheet peg corn better, so that's what I'm using. So we're going to put this together and put it on the stove, and I guess you'll see it on the other end, or not. If you don't see it, you'll know it didn't work out. Okay, guys, this is what it looks like when it comes back out of the oven. And yeah, it's we're going to slice it up and we're going to dish that out. The rice actually turned out, I'm not a big rice person, but the rice looks really good. It's nice and moist, and it's got beans, and it's got corn in it, and it's got a little bit of seasoning that came with the rice, so I tasted it. It's really good. So I have hungry people here, so I'm going to plate up one dish so that you can see what it looks like when it comes out. I find it easier to actually use a pie wedge to get them out because they're in that thing. But here we go. Here is one chili relleno with all the egg and all the chili and all the cheese. It's looking good. And then we're going to add to it, we're going to put some of this rice on it. And then, Ron, the taste tester, so if it's poison, you can actually...
If it's poison, I'll die happy.
You'll die happy, please.
Good morning.
Okay.
I'm trying the rice first.
The rice first, okay. Really? Okay, and here is the poblano. Chile relleno. I'll just
Want to
use
get
your
some
fingers.
of it.
Use your fingers. So it's not really spicy. I try to be real careful.
It is really good.
Good, because then
that is delicious.
What that means is we're going to go eat now. So we will see you next week on What's Cooking at the Martin.
Thank you.
What an idiot.